In these turbulent and bewildering times, it becomes clear that what we need, above all else, is pristine and quiet vinyl records. Yes, clean records, not just wiped or dusted or half-heartedly swabbed, but truly profoundly cleansed. For the true vinyl enthusiast, cleanliness is next to musicality and is on par in importance with food, water, clothing, shelter, and a good neighborhood sushi place. This video, which you're about to watch or possibly already regret watching, was made entirely on a whim. There was no script, no pre-production, and the sound is a bit dodgy. It's just me, a kitchen, and a few of my own devices, and a modest hope that something intelligible might emerge. I began cleaning records in earnest about 6 years ago when I purchased a spin clean. Since then, my methods have evolved considerably due to knowledge that I picked up along the way and through simple trial and error. I buy most of my records used, which means they often arrive in a condition best described as archaeological. So getting them clean is not just a preference, it is imperative to my listening pleasure. This is my third video on this topic, so it must be a big deal for me. I hope that you find it interesting, and I welcome your comments. I haven't made a record cleaning video in quite a while. I've made 2 previous ones when I changed my setup, and I have a new setup that's a bit different that I haven't shared in a long time, and I think right now, it's kind of evolved and I think improved over time, and I think I've got a better setup now than I did previously, so I'm going to show it to you as quickly as I can. All right, I picked up this Kate Bush album at Expona last week. It looks like the seller did a decent job cleaning it. It's a little dusty, but let me show you what I do. So I put it on here. I turn on the motor. And this liquid, it's a big bottle of liquid that came with the VPI. I'm just using it because it came with the VPI machine. It's by MoFi. It's super record wash. I don't know how old it is, but it seems to do the trick, and I don't have to buy more of it. So I just squirt some down on the record, and kind of hold the brush in place. Let it go around a few times. Give a little bit of pressure down. And I swing the arm in place. Let it go around a few times. And I flip the record over. I could even move that into place now. Some more liquid on here. Now, some people would just stop here and say, all right, it's good enough. And it does look pretty good. But I think that maybe ultrasonic is the best next step. So I'm going to move it over to my ultrasonic now. Now, as you can see, I'm doing this in my kitchen. It's the best place for this kind of thing. So put the record on. This is a iSonic, ultrasonic. I bought this, I don't know, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. Seems to be working pretty well. Popular model. All right, so I put the record on the spindle. Now this can hold up to 5 records, so it has all these spacers. But I found that, and people are telling me that they're too close together if you use them if you use all 5 at the same time, the gaps between the records are quite narrow. So I decided to do a little improvising. So what I did is I took some old albums that are no good, and I just broke off the edges and left the label. And I'm using that as a spacer because it works best, because the way this works, it has to have to use this method, you have to have a record between them so that it tightens properly. So I put a record label in there. And then I put another record on. So here's the next record. Once again, I have to put the spacers in. Got another record label, an old Capitol record label. All right, here's a Yes album, a UK import I picked up yesterday. I'm gonna put that on, and then I screw on the thingy, the knob. And that goes straight into there like that. So as you can see now, with those spacers, this will only hold 3 records, and there's a wider gap now between the records. As you could see, the gap was much, if you see where the old record labels are in there, the spaces were much narrower between the records. Another mod I did is I bought a power supply that I can change the voltage on to slow down the motor. Originally, this was going around like 5 times a minute or something, and I slowed it down to go around like 1 time a minute. So it slows it down, which I think is a good thing. Then I put it on 15 minutes. I run it for 15 minutes. I also turn up the heat, and I use, so it's over 80, it's like 85 degrees. Let me see what it is right now. Maybe it's a little warmer. Let's see, here's my thermometer. It's 89 degrees right now, which is okay, I think. And what else did I do? What do I put in the water? Well, what do I use for water? I use distilled water. It takes about 1.75 gallons, something like that. And I'm using this here, Ultrasonic. And I put like 20 drops or so in there before I start. Now, so I think this works pretty well. I've had it since 2022, so this has lasted me about 2.5 years or so far, and there's still a bit left in there. All right, so I run this for 15 minutes in the ultrasonic. Let's hit start. Okay, I'm gonna start up the motor. See how much slower it's moving now? It's moving a lot faster. All right, 15 minutes is up. You gotta turn this motor off. It's a little acrylic block they include. Stick it under there. Let it drip dry for a couple of seconds. Now what I'm gonna do next, put that over there, is that, all right, it's been in a ultrasonic Record Cleaner in it for 15 minutes. And in the past, I would just put it, the next step, I would skip this step. But after seeing what other people do, and a reading, thinking I should probably rinse off that water with detergent clean and some fresh distilled water in the spin clean. Now there's none of that spin clean liquid in here. It's just plain old distilled water. Take this off. Whoops, smooth. Take this off. Take the wet record, put it straight into the spin clean, and give it a few spins each way to rinse off any detergent clean and also any particles, debris that are suspended in the water from the ultrasonic. All right. So I just drip dry a little bit, and it's going into the next step, I guess call it the last step. And looky here, we're back at the VPI vacuum machine. Now I put a wet record directly on the cork mat here, but I'll take care of that in a minute. So once again, we do this step again. So what I'm doing is I don't believe in air drying records. I know a lot of, there's some machines out there that will blow warm air at the records, or people will just wipe them with one of these cloths and then put them on a rack to air dry. I don't believe that's the best way. I think you really have to vacuum them clean. I get the best results. I used to air dry them, and when I started doing this, my records turned out quieter because I still believe there's some debris suspended on the wet record that needs to be removed right away. Don't let it dry onto the record. The cork mat is wet from the other side of the record, so I take this cloth and dry off, absorb the water off of it. Does a pretty good job because you don't want to put a dry record onto a wet surface. Look it over, see it's wet. Do this again. Now it's, I would say 99% dry. And what I do next, I do put it on a rack for a few minutes, just to get maybe any slight bit of moisture that are still maybe around the edge or something to dry. Here are the records dried after they've been on the VPI. They've been sitting there for maybe about 20 minutes. And now I'm going to take them over to the table and put them in fresh inner sleeves. All right, here's one I cleaned earlier. I bought this. It came with an IRS original poly, I guess, I don't know what you call this, poly sleeve or inner sleeve. So I'm going to keep that, put that back inside the sleeve. In the old days, I would throw out some of the original, unless they had lyrics on them, I would throw them out. So I flip it around. I'm going to use the original plastic sleeve because it has the price on it. I paid for it for posterity. So I do the method of putting the record on the outside of the sleeve. So I use these Invest in Vinyl inner sleeves. They're not too expensive. They seem to do the trick. Flip around the back. I paid 25 bucks for this at Tiger Records in Jacksonville. And that's how it goes, like that.